A very good morning, guys. Yesterday at noon, almost the Nifty was at 24,266, down 200 points. Exactly at that air pocket we thought the Nifty would come in. And then somebody wrote a 5,800 crore check at the bottom. No, it was not a check, it was a buying. And the buying made the market a V-shaped recovery 170 points of that low, and the buyer was not FI, the buyer was local, the domestic buy of the month. On the day foreigners sold 1,000 crore. That war is half of today's episode. The other half is Sensex weekly expiry and round 4 of the new gas auction closing session that we are going to see. And for the first time, the market has walked in the auction premium, which is already paid. So this is the Tanmay Edge. You are listening to episode 102. I am Tanmay Kurtagoti. Let's go. So yesterday, let's look at yesterday what happened. The Nifty closed at 24,435, down 36 points, which tells you nothing. The market did absolutely nothing close to close. The open at 24,472 was the high of the day. Again, third session running where the best print came in the first few minutes of the opening. It sold straight down to 24,400 to that to 24,266. The low came in, and then the spent the whole afternoon climbing back, closing about 24,400. The Sensex fell 188 points to close at 77,966, but the bank index was green, up 0.6%. The volatility index, the VIX, slipped to 11.67, and the breadth across the board was 17 up to 30 down. Okay, so yesterday's call, guys, quickly, and episode 101 said 24,500 is the day, and if it fails, rallies are for selling. 24,400 first, air below that. The gap up gift nifty promised evaporated overnight. So what I did not map was the size of the local bid that caught it. I'll take a 4 on 5 on that, and the full scorecard is available on rupeecase.com. Now the war, guys, because this is where the heart of the tape is for today. On Wednesday, the FIS sold 1,002 crore of cash and added to their index futures shorts. Now they hold almost 1.65 lakh short contracts on index. The domestic funds bought 5,842 crore, their biggest single day of the month, straight into the falling knife, and that is what built the V-shape. Step back and look at the week. The locals absorbed 7,000 crore plus, handed the book to the foreigners for 2 days, and that took it back the moment price broke. Two armies opposite direction, both in size, that revolves with a trend eventually, and until it does, every revel is a battle between the FIs and the DIs. Under the hood, the options board did three things, and each one is a lesson. One, Max Payne has now slid 3 days in a row. 24,600 was present on Monday, 24,500 was present on Tuesday, and today it is standing at 24,400. Last night, it rode down another 100 points. And the magnet does not pull price, it chases it too. The call writers are chasing too. 42 lakh fresh calls sold at the money at 24,400. 38 lakh more calls at 24,500, taking that lid to 89 lakh contracts. While the 24,500 put writers ran, covering 12 lakh. Overall, the box remains between 24,400 to 500. And three, there, and this is my favorite, the proprietary desks, the pros who dumped their entire long volatility book into Tuesday's expiry at 12%. IV bought it back on Wednesday at 9.4. 1 day later, a cheap buy, terrifying sell, repeat. That is what they are doing. So what they are doing is, once the IV crashes, they are buying into it, and once it rises higher, they are getting it off. That loop is now the single best tell on the board, and we have watched them run it twice in last 7 sessions. And the crowd sold another 51,000 naked puts into the V shape, taking the short put to 5,74,000 contracts, a new record. higher than last week's peak that got burned on Tuesday, plus 1.48 lakh long calls on top of that. So, maximum bullish both direction one day after a 200-point flush. The FIs meanwhile took their book to 5 lakh, also a fresh high. Same war, third week running, one floor later. Which brings us to the today's main event, the Sensex weekly expiry and round three of uh, and round 4 of the closing auction session. Quick history, guys, because 102 episodes means we have the receipts. Round 1, the settlement misfired and printed phantoms. The following week, round 2, the settlement held clean, but the indicative price went wild inside that window and the volatility paid there. Both times the market walked in pricing a normal day and got surprised. Not this time. Today the Sensex one days implied volatility is at 13.5%, up 19% yesterday, while Nifty's front week sits at almost 10%. That gap 4 wall points is for the auction premium and the expiry that we are going to see today. The market has finally learned to pay for the last 15 minutes. So, round 4, the opposite question. When everybody has already paid for the fireworks, do fireworks come in? Now, Sensex board itself and read it closely and listen to it perfectly. 78,000 is the battleground. 16.4 lakh calls stacked over there against 11.1 lakh puts on that one strike. And max pain sits exactly there. The spot closed at 77,966, just 34 points below the pin. With futures at a 57-point premium leaning it back, the put floor is at 77,500 to 77,700. So that is the 200-point window where the market should take support, where the writers added 12.6 lakh calls, uh, fresh contracts yesterday, and the call, uh, the resistance is above 78,300 to 78,500, and the straddle costs about 422 rupees, guys. So roughly half a percent for the day. So the expiry math is simple. Inside 77,500 to 78,500, the seller, the straddle seller eats the premium, and the pin at 78,000 is the single most crowded outcome. The rules do not change. The indicative print is not the close. Nothing market on the close into the auction. And if you own expiry premium, remember Tuesday's lesson. Theta collects all day before the windows pay. So keep a watch on that. So your window is 77,700 to 77,500 as the buying window, and selling window as 78,300 to 78,500. Remember this while the center still stands at 78,000. Sectors and quickly because the rotation flipped for the fourth day. PSU banks up 2%, normal banks up 0.8%, media and metals green, while IT got hammered. TCS down 3.7% alone. Monday's IT bid is fully unwound. Banks leading a VD, uh, vertical recovery day, is the most constructive card the bulls have shown all the week. Quick word on global markets as well. Korea is in full melt up. Kospi is up another 4.2% as a record. That is over 11% in 3 days. The Nikkei is up 1.6% at 68,600, a fresh record. Taiwan is up 1.4%. The US closed firm Nasdaq is up half a percent, and here is the overnight gift for the bulls. Brent backed off down 1.3% to 87.80. So the $90 trigger from episode 100 walked away from the button. Gold sits at 44.11, living at its record. The high overnight was 44.49. The rupee is at 95.33, and the gift nifty is trading at 24,437, dead flat on our close. So quite open right inside the box. After Tuesday's, I'll say it again. Gift is a rumor, not a promise. But today the rumor says nothing at all. And our own book on a red day, Nifty, the all cap was green, up 0.05% against a minus 0.15 on the index. Since the rebalance, the benchmark is down 1.35%, the strategy down 0.38%, alpha of almost a percent, and the next rebalance is on Monday. 4 days, four leaderships, and the system just keeps climbing, clipping out alpha of the churn. That is the job it does. So here is the map for today, guys. The Nifty is boxed between 24,400 magnet below and the 24,500 resistance above. 89 calls, lakh calls heavy over there. About 24,500 on a close, the lid or the fight resumes and 24,600 to 700 opens up again. Below 24,300, remember who is short, the crowd. Record 5.74 lakh naked puts are short over there, and those are the fuel for the market to go down to 24,200. Between them, expect the magnet to do its work while the Sensex expiry takes the spotlight. On the Sensex, 78,000 is the pin, 77,500 to 700 is your support, and the last 15 minutes belong to the auction. Watch it, learn it from it. Do not trade the indicative price. After a week like this, one, the edge is not prediction, it is position sizing. Keep it defined, keep it small, and let the two armies exhaust each other. So this was the Tanmay edge, guys. If you found value in this, please share it with one trader friend who needs it right now. Subscribe on Apple Podcast and Spotify and Amazon Music, and listen it live on rupeecase.com where it streams first. And give it a rating, guys, if you want to add something to the podcast. Have a great expiry and see you all once again tomorrow morning.